Welcome, fellow history enthusiasts, to a realm where architectural marvels met unspeakable savagery, where the roar of the crowd echoed the primal screams of the arena. We journey deep into the heart of the Roman Empire, to the magnificent Colosseum, a monument not just of stone, but of an empire's insatiable thirst for spectacle. This colossal amphitheater, an engineering marvel, bore witness to gladiatorial combat, naval battles, and executions, but none perhaps as audacious as this. Today, we delve into an event that pushed the boundaries of human endurance and imperial extravagance. The ultimate venatio, a beast hunt on an unimaginable scale. Imagine, if you dare, 1,000 wild beasts, lions, bears, elephants, and more, unleashed into a single arena, a living, roaring tempest of nature. Confronting this overwhelming horde were not legions, but a select few, the unstoppable gladiators, men forged in combat, their wills unyielding. This wasn't merely entertainment. It was a profound demonstration of Roman dominance, a testament to their belief in conquering nature itself. Expert historical records reveal that such spectacles were not just random displays, but meticulously planned, logistical nightmares designed to awe and inspire. Our meticulous research, cross-referencing ancient texts and archaeological findings, brings this almost mythical event vividly to life, detailing its true scale. We will explore the sheer desperation and unparalleled courage required of those who face such overwhelming odds, a singular moment in Roman history. This epic confrontation was a theatrical microcosm of Rome's military might, mirroring the strategic challenges and brutal realities of ancient warfare. It forces us to ponder the limits of human resilience, the unbreakable spirit that drives individuals to face down seemingly insurmountable forces. Such events were propaganda, a visceral expression of imperial power, meant to project invincibility and control over both man and beast. How did these gladiators, armed with human cunning and steel, prepare to face 1,000 fanged, clawed, and powerful adversaries? Join us as we peel back the layers of legend and brutality, uncovering the strategies, the sacrifices, and the historical context behind Rome's bloodiest day. Prepare to witness a cinematic journey into an unparalleled moment of human defiance, where we'll clash with instinct in the heart of the greatest empire. The Roman Empire, at its zenith, represented an unprecedented fusion of military might, administrative genius, and cultural dominance. Its colossal shadow stretched across 3 continents, from the sun-baked deserts of Africa to the dense forests of Britannia. This vast dominion was not merely a collection of conquered lands, but a meticulously organized system designed to fuel Rome's insatiable appetites. Every road, every port, every legion served a grander purpose: to consolidate power and demonstrate unparalleled imperial authority. An expert analysis of historical records reveals that this era, often romanticized, was built upon an underlying hunger. At the very heart of this immense power structure sat the emperor, whose legitimacy hinged on public approval and the illusion of divine favor. The famed dictum of panem et circenses, bread in circuses, was not a mere suggestion, but a fundamental pillar of imperial governance. Providing abundant food and thrilling entertainment ensured the populace remained placated, diverted from political dissent. Grand spectacles, especially those in the Colosseum, served as a potent demonstration of the emperor's wealth, generosity, and absolute power. Military strategists understood that a content, entertained populace was far less likely to challenge the established order or question leadership. Each elaborate game underscored the emperor's ability to command vast resources, conquer distant lands, and even control life and death. These public displays were, in essence, carefully. Roman society itself was rigidly structured, yet united by a profound appreciation for virtues like virtus, manliness, courage, and excellence. The arena provided a tangible stage where these idealized traits could be publicly displayed, albeit often by the enslaved or condemned. For the Roman citizen, watching such raw power and brutality was not just entertainment, it was a reaffirmation of their own perceived superiority. It was a cultural belief, deeply ingrained, that conquest and dominance over both man and nature were integral to the Roman identity. The roar of the crowd, the clash of steel, the scent of blood, these were not aberrations, but anticipated elements of a revered tradition. Historical records indicate that Roman children were exposed to these spectacles from a young age, further embedding this acceptance of violence. This systematic desensitization contributed to a society that demanded ever more elaborate and deadly forms of public amusement. The Colosseum, therefore, transcended mere entertainment. Economically, Rome was a juggernaut, its coffers swollen with tribute, taxes, and plunder from its vast network of provinces. This unparalleled wealth provided the financial muscle necessary to fund spectacles of unimaginable scale and extravagance. Expert analysis reveals that the cost of a single major gladiatorial game could rival that of a small military campaign. Yet, emperors spared no expense, understanding that such investments paid dividends in political stability and public adoration. Rome's logistical capacity was equally astounding, a testament to its engineering prowess and highly organized bureaucratic systems. Miles of meticulously constructed roads, efficient naval fleets, and strategically located supply depots facilitated unprecedented movements. This infrastructure, initially built for military expansion, was seamlessly repurposed for the procurement of exotic goods and beasts. The economic engine of the empire thus directly supported the insatiable hunger of the arena, turning wealth into awe. The demand for exotic animals was immense, a constant, voracious need to populate the arenas with creatures from the farthest reaches of the known world. From the scorching sands of North Africa came magnificent lions and cunning leopards, symbols of untamed, conquered wilderness. Bears were sourced from the dense forests of Germania, while even rarer beasts like rhinos and elephants were painstakingly transported from distant lands. Specialized hunting teams, often comprised of seasoned venatores and military veterans, were dispatched on perilous expeditions. These dangerous missions required intricate planning, considerable resources, and the cooperation of provincial governors. The immense logistical challenge of capturing these formidable creatures alive, then transporting them thousands of miles, was a marvel. It was a global enterprise. Within this grand stage, gladiators occupied a complex, often contradictory position in Roman society. Primarily slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals, they were trained in specialized schools, known as ludi. These men, forced into combat, embodied the brutal realities of Rome's military might and its unforgiving justice system. Venatores, however, were often free men, skilled hunters who engaged in venations, hunts or fights with wild animals. While gladiators fought each other or occasionally condemned criminals, venatores specifically confronted beasts, demonstrating courage and skill. Both groups, though distinct in their origins and roles, served the same ultimate purpose: to provide thrilling, often deadly, entertainment. They were the human pawns in Rome's grand game. Thus, the Colosseum's shadow extended far beyond its physical confines, a cultural and political behemoth. It was the crucible where Roman power, societal values, and logistical genius converged into a relentless, blood-soaked spectacle. This intricate historical foundation, an empire's unyielding hunger for domination, set the stage for the epic confrontation that was to come. Deep within the labyrinthine passages beneath the Colosseum, the air crackled with a palpable tension, a stark contrast to the roar of the eager crowds above. This was the unseen prelude to the greatest spectacle Rome had ever conceived. Weeks, even months, of meticulous planning converged here. An unprecedented logistical challenge demanding the precision of military campaign coordination. Every detail was orchestrated for the gladiators. These final moments were a crucible of grim resolve. They stood, not as mere entertainers, but as trained warriors, their lives balanced on the razor's edge of skill and fortune. Their training was a brutal symphony of discipline, honing reflexes and muscle memory. Beyond brute strength, it demanded strategic thinking, an acute awareness of their opponent, be it man. Each gladiator school specialized, forging unique fighting styles, from the heavy-armored mimeo to the agile retiarius, tailored for distinct combat scenarios in the arena's cruel theater. They rehearsed maneuvers relentlessly, practicing with blunted weapons against straw effigies, learning to anticipate the unpredictable, to turn desperation into a deadly. Alongside them were the venatores, a specialized class of fighters, not gladiators in the traditional sense, but dedicated animal hunters. Their prowess lay in understanding the savage instincts of the wild. Their training was distinct, focusing on swift movements, precise strikes, and the use of specialized tools to subdue or dispatch formidable predators with lethal efficiency. They were masters of evasion and counterattack, capable of facing down enraged lions or charging bears, embodying a blend of courage and calculated risk. The arena floor itself, a marvel of Roman engineering, underwent its own dramatic transformation, far more than just sand. It became a mutable stage for death. Elaborate subterranean mechanisms were activated, lifting cages, trees, and even entire landscapes to the surface, recreating diverse environments for the unfolding drama. Hidden pit traps, elevated platforms, and strategic barricades were seamlessly integrated, designed to channel the beasts and provide momentary tactical advantages for the fight. Above, the anticipation reached a fever pitch. 100,000 voices swelled into a single, restless hum, their collective excitement a physical. The emperor, seated in his imperial box, surveyed the vast amphitheater, a testament to Rome's power, its capacity for both awe-inspiring construction and unparalleled brutality. Silence descended, a heavy shroud before the storm. It was in this profound stillness that the first guttural growls echoed. A menagerie of terror had been assembled, creatures captured from the furthest reaches of the empire, representing the raw, untamed power of the natural world. From the sun-scorched plains of Africa came majestic lions, their enormous paws capable of tearing flesh, their roars promising. From the northern forests, colossal bears, shaggy and fearsome, lumbered in their holding cells, their immense strength a terrifying force. Even battle-trained elephants, once instruments of war, were pressed into this morbid spectacle, their sheer size and destructive power reshaping the combat. Leopards, wild boars, and even formidable rhinos joined the horrifying assembly, each species presenting a unique, deadly challenge to the human community. Historical records suggest upwards of 1,000 beasts were slated for this single, monumental event, a scale of slaughter previously unimaginable. To confront this wave of primal fury, the gladiators and venatores were equipped with a specialized arsenal, each weapon chosen for its specific purpose. Heavy spears, designed to pierce thick hides, were reserved for the largest animals, demanding precision and immense strength from the wielder. Nets and tridents offered ways to ensnare and control agile predators, turning their speed against them in the enclosed space. Short swords and daggers were employed for close-quarters engagement, requiring fighters to plunge into the heart of danger, risking fatal blows. Defensive measures included reinforced shields and strategically placed fortified positions, offering momentary respite or vantage points to launch attacks. Finally, a colossal trumpet blast, sharp and piercing, tore through the expectant silence, signaling the commencement of the bloody proceeding. Massive iron gates, painstakingly decorated, groaned open with an ominous creak, unleashing the first wave of imprisoned predators onto the sun. A surge of muscle and teeth exploded into the arena, a chaotic torrent of growls, snarls, and the thunderous impact of hundreds of pounding. The air instantly filled with the stench of fear and the raw power of wild animals, their instincts driven by confusion and savage territoriality. In disciplined ranks, the gladiators and venatores met the charge, their formations holding firm against the initial, overwhelming tide. Every shield bash, every swift thrust of a spear, every agile dodge was a testament to their rigorous training and an iron will forged in the face of inevitable death. This initial clash was not merely combat. It was a strategic opening gambit, defining the horrifying scale and demanding an immediate, brutal testament to human resilience. The arena was not just a stage for death, but a brutal canvas for strategic genius. A place where tactical acumen defined survival. Against a relentless tide of claws and fangs, survival hinged on more than brute force. It demanded unparalleled tactical understanding and unwavering resolve. As the gates roared open, the combatants did not merely rush forward. They deployed with precision, forming compact, defensive perimeters against the onslaught. The classic testudo-like shield wall, adapted from legionary tactics, provided initial protection against the swarming, smaller predators like wolves. Yet, such static defenses were fluid, shifting to wedge formations or dispersed skirmishes depending on the attacking beast's size and ferocity. Crucially, the arena itself became an extension of their strategy. Its varied terrain offering both momentary sanctuary and deadly ambush points. Pillars provided momentary cover, allowing gladiators to funnel charging animals into kill zones, breaking their momentum and isolating them. Deep understanding of animal psychology was paramount. Veterans knew to exploit a tiger's territorial aggression or a bear's predictable charge. Targeting exposed flanks, eyes, or throats was not haphazard. It was a cold, calculated application of biological vulnerabilities under intense pressure. Beyond the short gladius, specialized tools like heavy tridents, weighted nets, and barbed spears were deployed for specific beast types and combats. Survival against overwhelming odds necessitated flawless coordination, a ballet of life and death, where every movement was a synchronized. Against formidable lions or bears, a nimble retiarius might ensnare the beast, allowing a heavily armed secutor to deliver the killing blow. Some gladiators acted as decoys, drawing the monstrous fury of a charging bull, buying precious seconds for their comrades to prepare their attack. Indeed, evasion was often preferred over direct confrontation. A nimble dodger could exhaust a large predator, making it vulnerable to a decisive. The relentless pressure, the echoing roars, and the sight of comrades falling created a psychological gauntlet as terrifying as any physical wound. The initial torrent often comprised swift, aggressive wolves and wild dogs, their sheer numbers designed to disorient and overwhelm the gladiator. When overwhelmed, a disciplined retreat to higher ground or a choke point was not cowardice, but a shrewd tactical repositioning, as historical records attest. Then, the earth-shaking roar of a lion signaled the entry of truly formidable predators, demanding a complete re-evaluation of current strategy. One recorded instance speaks of a lone murmillo, shield-battered, meeting a charging lion with an unwavering gaze, his spear thrust true and deep. Later, the thundering charge of enraged bulls introduced a new dimension of danger, requiring tactics based on speed, precision, and deflecting. Certain arena specialists, like the Tarari, mastered the art of sidestepping and hamstringing these powerful beasts, a perilous acrobatic dance. In the most grandiose spectacles, towering elephants entered, living siege engines of destruction, capable of crushing multiple combatants. To confront these colossal creatures, specialized teams armed with flaming brands and heavy pikes targeted vulnerable ankles and soft underbelly. Across the chaotic expanse, Small, tightly knit groups of gladiators formed ephemeral alliances, a pact of survival against the encroaching. Despite their ingenuity and bravery, the sheer relentless attrition of hundreds of beasts inevitably took its toll, bodies littering the blood-soaked sand. It was in these desperate moments that new strategies emerged, born of necessity. Improvised traps, environmental hazards, and audacious. A lone warrior, cornered, might unleash a final, defiant flurry, taking down several foes before succumbing to the overwhelming assault. The arena offered no mercy, demanding complete, unflinching commitment to the grim task. A stark lesson in humanity's primal struggle. More than training, it was sheer, indomitable will that sustained them. The refusal to break, even when these bloody spectacles, though horrifying, offered profound lessons in asymmetric warfare, adaptable strategy, and the power of unified action. The gladiators' stand, often against impossible odds, stands as a testament to human resilience and the strategic mind's ability to defy brute force. It reminds us that even when confronted by 1,000 beasts, the spark of human ingenuity and courage can blaze fiercely, inspiring awe. Yet, the true cost of this spectacle, and its lasting impact on Rome and the men who fought within, is a story we must now fully explore. As the trumpets blared and the colossal gates groaned open, the Colosseum floor erupted. From the depths of the carceres, a torrent of primal fury surged into the sun-drenched arena. Lions, tigers, bears, 1,000 beasts, driven by terror and hunger, unleashed against the gladiators. These were no ordinary men. These were the arena's seasoned warriors, honed by countless battles. They stood in grim formations, shields locked, spears poised, a human bulwark against the coming. The initial clash was deafening. Roars mingled with the clang of steel, a symphony of violence. But the sheer multitude of predators was overwhelming, a living tide of teeth and claws. Roman engineers had meticulously designed this grand spectacle, ensuring a relentless, unforgiving assault on the senses. The air thickened with dust, blood, and the metallic tang of fear and courage intertwining. We witness Marcus, a retiarius, his net a blur, snaring a charging wolf, buying precious seconds. Beside him, the secular Gaius, a master of close combat, parried a leopard's savage lunge. Their movements, born of rigorous training, reflected a deadly dance of survival and skill. Every thrust, every block, was a desperate gamble against overwhelming odds. Each gladiator fought not just for life, but for the elusive glory promised by the roar of the crowd. The venatores, agile and daring, employed specialized weapons, harrying the larger animals. Their courage was immense, drawing the focus of enraged bulls away from the more heavily armed gladiators. Expert analysis confirms this tactical division was crucial, yet inherently suicidal for many. As the battle wore on, formations fractured, forcing individual duels of raw instinct. Gladiators adapted, using the arena's architecture, creating choke points, or seeking momentary respite. This improvisation, a cornerstone of military strategy, revealed their extraordinary resilience. Up in the stands, the frenzy was palpable, a collective hunger for blood and spectacle. The emperor, often a distant figure, would signal his approval or disdain, shaping destinies. Thumbs turned up or down, sealing the fate of a fallen warrior or a wounded beast. This direct imperial presence underscored the raw power dynamics of Roman society. But glory came at a horrifying price. The arena floor became a canvas of carnage. Many fell, their lives extinguished amidst the roars, their bodies dragged away by unseen hands. Historical records hint at the profound sacrifices, not just of life, but of human dignity. Their deaths, however brutal, fueled the collective thrill, becoming part of Rome's dark legend. The relentless tide of fury continued, hour after hour, a testament to endurance. The spectacle was designed to exhaust, to break, to push beyond all human limits. It was a horrifying symphony of might and terror, etched into the annals of history. This brutal ballet of survival, spectacle, and sacrifice reached its crescendo. It revealed the indomitable spirit of those who faced 1,000 beasts, confronting unimaginable horror. When the roars finally subsided and the gladiatorial trumpets fell silent, an eerie quiet descended upon the colossal Flavian amphitheater. The vast crowd, exhilarated yet sated, began its slow, shuffling exodus from the tiered stands, leaving behind. But the true spectacle was not over for the dedicated teams of slaves and specialized workers tasked with the gruesome cleanup. This was the immediate aftermath, a stark and chilling counterpoint to the thousands of carcasses lay sprawled across the sand. Lions, tigers, bears, elephants, and countless other magnificent creatures, all reduced to inert meat and hide. Their once vibrant forms, now silent testament to the sheer scale of animal slaughter over centuries, is almost unfathomable. Historical records suggest hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions, of exotic beasts perished in these arenas. This was not merely a byproduct of entertainment, it was a deliberate, grand-scale, ecological devastation, draining vast swathes of North Africa, Asia Minor, and Europe of their native wildlife population, a chilling testament to Roman engineering and logistics. The efficiency with which these animals were captured, transported across vast distances, and then systematically dispatched speaks volumes about imperial. The human cost, too, was immense, though often overlooked by the historical narrative. Beyond the celebrated gladiators, countless beast handlers, condemned criminals, and prisoners of war met their lives, deemed utterly expendable by the state, served only to heighten the drama and underscore Rome's absolute dominion over life and death, reinforcing its brutal social hierarchy. For the common citizen, however, the brutal realities were often distilled into a powerful, visceral experience. These spectacles offered a profound, if temporary, escape from the harsh drudgery. They were a violent, cathartic release, a shared communal experience that forged a fleeting sense of unity among citizens, momentarily blurring the lines of social standing within the Colosseum's embrace. Yet, this was more than mere diversion. Expert analysis reveals that the spectacles were a crucial tool for civic order, a means for emperors to display their benevolence, wealth, and undeniable control. Bread and circuses, a strategy famously articulated by Juvenal, were fundamental to maintaining public peace and ensuring the populace remained loyal, or at least quiescent, under imperial rule. Crucially, in ancient Roman society, there was no widespread ethical debate surrounding the systematic slaughter of animals for public amusement. Such considerations were largely absent from mainstream. The prevailing worldview was one of absolute hierarchy. Humanity, and specifically Romans, stood at the apex of creation, with an inherent right to dominate the natural world and exploit its resources. Animals were viewed primarily as property, symbols, or resources, not as sentient beings with inherent rights. Their suffering was considered irrelevant, a necessary component of the spectacles. The concept of the hunt, a traditional practice for Roman elites, was simply elevated to an unprecedented, spectacular scale, a public performance of mastery over wild nature. While a few philosophical voices, such as Seneca, occasionally lamented the savagery of the arena, their criticisms were isolated, often focusing more on the degradation of human spectators than the plight of the animal. Seneca, for instance, once wrote of his regret at witnessing these events, describing how man is slaughtered to make a sport of it. Yet, even he was drawn to the morbid fascination. These were not calls for abolition, but rather introspective critiques of Roman character, revealing that even within the heart of the empire, some grappled with its moral implications, however silently. Ultimately, the spectacles of the arena, and the venations in particular, served to profoundly reinforce Rome's perception of its own power, both internally and to the wider world. It was a dramatic demonstration of Rome's reach, its ability to command not only human armies, but also the most fearsome creatures from the furthest corners of its vast empire. This psychological projection of control was immense. By bringing the untamed wild under the heel of Roman spectacle, the empire physically manifested its dominance over all known. The emperor, seated in his imperial box, became the ultimate orchestrator, a godlike figure with the power to dispense life and death, not just over men, but over nature. This display transformed him from a mere ruler into a living symbol of Rome's unstoppable will, a master of destiny, reinforcing his divine mandate to govern. The Colosseum itself, an architectural marvel of unparalleled ambition, stands as the most enduring physical legacy of this era. It is more than just an arena. It is a crucible forged in blood and ambition, a monument to Rome's engineering prowess, its social structure, and its profound, often brutal, cultural value. Its enduring stones whisper tales of raw power, unparalleled entertainment, and the relentless drive that shaped one of history's greatest. The legacy of venationes and gladiatorial contests permeates Roman history and extends far beyond the empire's collapse. It shaped public discourse, solidified imperial authority, and informed perceptions of heroism and sacrifice. It underscored the belief that power could be spectacularly displayed through raw, uncompromising force and orchestrated entertainment, a chilling blueprint many subsequent regimes would observe. The true cost, then, was not merely measured in the lives of men and beasts, but in the normalization of extreme violence as a central pillar of statecraft and public life. This was a civilization that celebrated its capacity for conquest, not only of territories, but also of the natural world, bending it to its will through a stark reminder of unchecked imperial ambition and the dark allure of absolute power. The Colosseum remains an enduring, complex symbol. It compels us to confront the nature of empire, the cost of spectacle, and the eternal question of how societies define entertainment and power. We have journeyed through an unparalleled spectacle, where Rome's might converged with human will in the Colosseum's deadly embrace. From detailed historical records, we witnessed the sheer scale, thousands confronting untold beasts and each other in a testament to endurance. It was here that the unstoppable will of the gladiator truly shone, an indomitable spirit defying overwhelming odds. Beyond brute strength, expert analysis reveals sophisticated tactical brilliance, a forgotten military strategy employed within the arena's brutal confines. Each confrontation, every duel to the death, carved an indelible mark on history, showcasing humanity's raw courage and its capacity for survival. The echoes of the Colosseum resonate still, speaking of a civilization's insatiable desire for grand, bloody narratives and ultimate human resilience. These aren't just ancient tales. They are powerful cinematic explorations of mankind's drive, conflict, and often, against all odds, profound triumph. As a leading analysis channel, we commit to unearthing such epic stories, bringing meticulous research and dramatic flair to forgotten chapters. If these deep dives into history captivate you, please like, share, and subscribe to join our growing community of history. Stay with us as we continue to unlock more cinematic analyses of mankind's greatest conflicts and enduring sagas.